Have you ever deliberately decided who you want to work with, who you want to do life with, who you want to do business with? Is it just guesswork to you? So if this person is here, then I'd onboard them as a client. If this person is here, then I'd make them my secretary. If this person is here and they have money, well, they'll just be an investor. Have you ever sat down and deliberately decided who you will do business with and who you won't? Who you will do life with and who you won't? This year, I truly believe it's not like an ordinary year. And I'm not saying that like other people say. I really think this is a year where you need to become aligned with the right people strategically. It's a year of strategic alignment. And if you don't catch the wind early on, because today is January when I'm shooting this video, if you don't catch the wind very early, you're going to miss it. And you don't need to miss opportunities this year. You don't need to miss open doors this year. But you need to sit down beforehand, before the opportunity, before the open door, and decide. Decide. Who will I work with? Who will I really do life with this year? And in this video, that's what we're going to talk about. Because I'm going to begin to teach you how to really ascertain that this is a person to do life with, this is a person to do business with, or this isn't really a person I should be messing with in this time, in this space, and in this season of my life. So let's get started. So recently, I was in a bit of a pickle. Let me tell you, I was in a relational pickle. And I called my coach, right? My coach and I had to meet because I'm like, yo, I'm in a pickle. And I was just going on and on and on and on and on. And while we sat in this session, my coach was coaching me. And while we sat in that session, this framework just came out of it. And I started to list 4 things that I think people need to be for them to be aligned, not just with me, but anybody, right? And so this framework became a thing. And that's what I'm here to introduce it to you and to really teach you what I learned. Because it's out of your greatest pain that purpose is born. I'll repeat. It's out of your greatest pain that purpose is born. Because a lot of times we expect to birth big things, big dreams, big businesses, big marriages. We expect to birth, but we don't expect to feel pain. Listen, you need to put some value on your pain. And you have to allow your pain to produce the purpose that it came for. The Bible said, shall I bring to the place of delivery and not cause something new to be born? So God doesn't allow pain without purpose. But sometimes we've been going through pain and we have not been producing purpose. Purpose is not some airy-fairy, a nice place, sunny. No. This road is dark and full of terrors. This road, this purpose road, is gritty. It requires something. And what it requires is your ability to, 1, put value on your pain to produce it. But it also requires that you understand how to remedy mistakes beforehand, if you can, by learning from a mentor or coach, or remedy mistakes by learning the lessons the mistakes should have taught you. And I am saying to you today, if you were like me, just a little bit relationally lazy. What do I mean by that? And I'm real serious. I was relationally lazy. Like, I just put in my laundry out there. I was relationally lazy. What do I mean by that? I was not deliberately deciding who I would work with or not. A lot of times I allowed life to decide for me. How do you think that worked out? How do you think it worked out when I decide that life will decide my relationships? What? What? Who is living life? Me or life? I am living life. I have dominion over life. Therefore, I need to act like the person with dominion. So I need to make a decision. So this is the first part of the framework. Assets. Are you able to identify who is a relational asset to you in this season? Who is a relational asset to you in your business? Who is a relational asset to you in your career? Who is a relational asset to you in terms of your personal growth? Because this is the truth, right? So a lot of this content is supposed to be geared towards Christian entrepreneurs, kingdom entrepreneurs. But I'm trying to show you that if you don't get life right, your business will suffer. Do you know why? Because you stand as a representation in your business. So when your relational life is whack, do you really think that your leadership in that business is going to be great? Newsflash, it won't. It won't. So what I'm teaching you here is I might be teaching you dollars and cents, right? If it don't make money, it don't make sense. You know, you hear people talk about that, but let me tell you something. Your life needs to make sense for you to make money. I'll repeat. Your life needs to make sense for you to make money. So if you don't know how to get life right, you're going to get business wrong. And if you can't find relational clarity, you're going to get business wrong. So that's why I'm here to peel back the layers and put things into perspective for you. Who are the assets in your life? And are you able to identify if a person is an asset for you to allow them into your life? If a person is no longer an asset, oh no, baby, we've crossed over the threshold and you are given liability. You are now given liability, but how do you know? Let's dive in. So who is a relational asset? A relational asset is anybody that is aligned. I repeat, anybody that is aligned with what? Your goals, your passions, your purpose, your vision, your values. Now, listen to what I said. The first thing I said is anybody. Many times we try to judge what an asset would look like, what car they would drive, what their bank account would look like, what certain things would look like. Hey, listen, if you decide that certain people can't be assets to you, you may be fumbling a great asset in your life because you have decided your asset needs to be a certain weight, a certain age, a certain gender. Get with it. What was the key word there? Anybody. Jesus said what? Whosoever. Whosoever. Get those relational blinders on. Get those prejudices off. Sorry. Get those relational blinders off and get those prejudices off. Because you will start fumbling people when you're looking for a particular category of person. And let me tell you, I'm making this video, and when I tell you I'm talking to me, I am talking to me. I ain't out here making no video putting you down. Let me tell you, I speaking to myself and saying, Gail, get up. Gail, get up. Anybody. Anybody. The second A I want you to pay attention to is aligned. I said they have to be what? Aligned. Amos 3:3 says this: two cannot walk together except they be agreed. So there has to be some dimension of agreement between you and that person for that person to really be an asset to you. Some sort of alignment. And let me tell you, what you think alignment is isn't always what it is. But that's a lot of heights for me to really explain. There's a lot of heights. But let's keep it basic. So they align in purpose and passions and values and vision. They align with you. So I have to look at my notes here because when I tell you, it might be in here, but also need to be in front of my eyes. We are playing games. So someone being an asset isn't always about who they are, but where you position them in your life. I will repeat. Someone being an asset is not always, I said not what? Always about who they are, but where you and me, where we position them. Now think about this. Think about this. What is a stove doing in your bedroom? Why you need a stove in your bedroom? Are you gonna cook in your bedroom? Are you? So do you need a stove in a house? Yes. But if I put that stove, that nice gas range, in my bedroom, that stove is out of place. I need the stove, but I have the stove in the wrong part of the house. So what happens is I wake up and I'm hitting the stove on my foot. Somebody trying to cook food while I'm sleeping. Do you get the point I'm trying to make? What is the point here? You need the stove, but the stove irritates you, annoys you, because you have something you need, but it's malpositioned. Do you have people in your life that you need that are malpositioned? Think. I want to repeat again because I'm trying to provoke you onto love and good works. Do you have people in your life that you need, but they are mal positioned? Code for you have them in the wrong place. And you have been so upset about people not living up to a certain expectation and standard relationally in your business, but you have them in the wrong place. They're an asset. But an asset will always operate like a liability when mal positioned. I'll repeat. An asset will always operate like a liability when mal positioned. They may be the right person, they're not in the right place. You don't have them in the right place. And you keep going in cycles because they're not in the right place. God gave you a gift, but you didn't steward it right. And you're getting ready to fumble that person, fumble that employee, fumble that investor, fumble that business partner, fumble that client. Because a line was crossed that shouldn't have been crossed. And now you are just ready to snip, snip, cut. And you don't need to cut. You need to reposition. Are you willing to? Are you willing to? Because this is what it's coming to. You're tired, you're annoyed, you're frustrated, you feel like nothing is working in your business, nothing is working in your friendships, nothing is working in your life, and it's because you have not set relational boundaries. Don't put the stove in the bedroom. It doesn't belong there. Everybody could be in your kitchen, not everybody could be in your bedroom. What is the stove doing there? What is the stove doing there? Fix it. Let's move on. So you have to assign positions in your life and business. You have to be able to. You have to be able to. But let me tell you, assigning the position is very difficult when you first didn't come to a place of awareness. So I started with showing you that any asset misplaced will be a liability. And now I want to bring you back now. Why? Because I wanted to show you the pain point. Your pain point right now is you feel like you have too many liabilities in your business. And I'm speaking about people, right? Not actual liabilities for financial accounting. You feel like you have too many liabilities. Your pain point is you feel like you have too many liabilities in your life, or people who are operating like relational liabilities. So now that we know that, let me bring you back and let me pull you back now. So I took you to the point of pain and frustration, and now let me drive you and pull you out of that space. So let me ask you one simple question. What do you need? What do you need? You will never be able to decide deliberately on certain relationships and people until you understand what you need. So many people make relational decisions emotionally. And let me tell you who included in these so many people. I am about to front. I am not on here to try to preach and say so many of you in my little Pharisee behavior. I'm included now. I'm included. And you do this thing out of emotions. They make you feel good. You know, I felt good when I interviewed that candidate for this job for my business. I felt good when, we went out for dinner. I felt good. This is your life. This is your business. We have to move beyond the realm of feeling good to something actually being good. Move yourself out of an emotional state and get yourself understanding properly whether a decision you're making relationally really is the right one to make. And emotions, especially when you're a highly driven, emotional person, they make me feel good. I feel good. I feel good. And you're just disaster after disaster after disaster, and you keep sweeping offenses under the rug, and you're so mad and you're so angry with that business partner, you're so angry with that employee. But yes, we're so good and we're so much friends, and I'm feeling good, but I'm not feeling good when somebody does something because you put the stove in the bedroom. What do you need? And I need you, without thinking of a person in mind, to ask yourself, in my business right now, in my life right now, in this season right now, what do I need? Because perhaps you need employees who could be consistent. You need people who could show up for you, who are willing to go the extra mile. And let me tell you something, your needs always aren't a bad thing, But sometimes you try to plaster those needs on a person who can't meet it. So guess what happens? Disappointment. Guess what happens? Frustration. Guess what happens? Hopelessness. Guess what happens? Anxiety. Guess what happens? All sorts of nonsense. Because you've just taken something you needed and tried to ask a person who can't or aren't willing or won't provide it to do it for you. And guess what? It won't work. Get the stove out of the bedroom. Get that stove out of that bedroom. How to decide what do you need? Well, I just told you. Where are you right now? Where are you? Search the deep recesses of your heart and be unafraid to say, I need committed people, or I need reciprocal relationships. Like, I am not about this one way life. I am in a season of this thing about to go both ways. And it's not about being an eye for an eye, or saying if I give a hand, you better give a hand, or if I give a foot, you better give a foot, or if you give a leg, I better give a leg. It's not that. But it's you saying, I need more. I just need more. The next thing is, Does that person bring unique value or perspectives to the table? Stop trying to choose another you. Give it. I'm being honest. Stop looking for another you. Think about it, right? You need somebody to balance out your nonsense. So, if as a leader you're impulsive, you're gonna need people in your space who could ground you and tell you, hey, let's think about that idea before we try to execute. If you're somebody who lives in their head, you need to be around people who execute. You need to be around lions, right? You have to run in the pack. Because why? Being in that circle and in that space, those people are going to help launch you forward. So don't be afraid to seek the opposite of who you are. Don't be scared of that. Be open to it. Because now this is the thing, eh? When the opposite of who you are comes in your space, let's speak the truth. When the opposite of who you are comes in your space, your first instinct is to say, I can't take that person. This ain't working. This is a mess. What is this? I can't hire that person. I can't do life with that person. We're not very open to opposites. We're not. But let me tell you, God knows how this thing works. Peter was like, it's on sight. And he was in Jesus's top three, Jesus's inner circle. And Peter was ready to run up on anybody. And Jesus was just there chilling. Jesus had a chill vibe. I mean, he could have turned them tables in that temple, don't get it twisted. But he was chill. But Peter was, it's on sight. And sometimes we need a little balance, man. We need a little excitement. We need a little excitement. But in business, in life, don't be scared of opposites. The next point is, are their strengths aligned with your goals? Are their strengths aligned with your goals? So, you need people who could be strong where you are weak. But guess what? If you don't know where you are weak, how could you choose people who are strong in that area? So if you still want to mess around with this thing and pretend that you are something you are not, go ahead. You will make bad business choices. Truly, yeah? You'll make bad life choices. You need to be able to sit and say, I am not good at this. Like, I am not good at this. I am not good with administration. Therefore, I can't choose somebody who is wishy washy in this area. I am not good with bookkeeping. I am not good. I'm not good with generating ideas. So I need big thinkers around me, people who can help me see a different perspective and pursue something different. Don't be scared of that. Do not be scared of that. The next thing is, are their weaknesses a hindrance to your goals? So this is the truth. People can have strengths that are aligned, but weaknesses that are what? Misaligned. I will repeat. People can have strengths that are aligned, but weaknesses that are misaligned. Now, this is the million-dollar question. Which matters more to you? The strengths they have or the weaknesses they have? Why is that so important? Some weaknesses are not tolerable and no amount of patience you have can allow them. Like, you can't permit that weakness in your business. Why? Because the season won't permit it. The fact that we're scaling won't permit it. The fact that we're losing money won't permit it. The fact that things are all over the place in terms of the board, I can't tolerate that weakness because I can't lead that weakness in this season. And that weakness is too big of a liability. So no amount of assets that that person provides outweighs the liabilities that they are. Listen to this. A person could be a good person, but they just don't align with what you need for the season you are in. A person could be a good person, but they just don't align for what you need for the season you are in. They just don't. And you don't have to feel bad when you realize I like this person, but they are not in alignment with where I am in terms of business. They are not in alignment in terms of where I am in terms of generating cash flow in this business. They're just not aligned. They're great, but they're not aligned. Remember, we don't need the stove in the bedroom. We need the stove. We don't need the stove in the bedroom. So we need to figure out, where do we put the stove? To get the most out of an asset, I want to leave you with 3 points. You have to have the right perspective about the person. Number 2, you have to understand their purpose in your life and in your business. And number 3, you have to strategically position them where they can flourish and you could flourish too. You have to strategically position them where they can flourish and you could also flourish too. Do you have relational assets? Do you know how to choose relational assets? Are you prepared in 2025 in your business to deliberately decide? You don't let desperation decide. Never let desperation decide who you work with. You will regret it. I'm telling you, you will regret that thing so bad. You will say, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Why did I choose? Why did I choose? Why did I choose? Because you allowed desperation to choose for you. Be careful. Be careful. Timing is everything this year. When you choose to do it, will matter. It will matter just as much as how you choose to do it. I will repeat. This year, 2025, timing is everything. When you choose to do it will matter just as much as how you choose to do it. Be careful. Let's decide this year to deliberately walk with the right people. Let's decide this year to walk with assets. People who add unique value through their unique contribution. And it could be anybody, as long as they are aligned with us, with passion, purpose, vision, and values. And I hope this video blessed you. And if it did, I want you to subscribe to this channel, because this is what we do here. We talk, I teach, I show you how to do things, and I bring you into a realm of clarity. I'm going to unravel the confusion, cause the dust to settle, and cause you to do what? See where you're going so that you could take flight. And so I hope you've been blessed. Don't forget, share the video with somebody. Comment on the video. Hit me up. You can follow me on Instagram at the Janelle Henry. You can follow me on Threads, although I hardly post there. Let me be real. At the Janelle Henry. And you can follow me also on this channel. So take good care of yourself. And I hope this blessed you.